What's up, everybody? Benja Well Done coming at you live on this beautiful corona-free day. Today is Wednesday, July the 15th. How are you doing? So I was doing some thinking and about this whole coronavirus and everything, and I really believe in a lot of ways it should be remembered and known as the depression virus, because the effects that this thing gives, not just socially, but in every possible way, is nothing short of depressing. For example, it can potentially take your sense of taste away. Now, could you imagine, even as something as small as that, how thankful you would be to be alive, but how awful it would be to not ever experience delicious ice cream or food? Then restaurants would plummet and stuff like that. No one would care what they eat because they don't really taste it. Not even that. They wouldn't even really know if food is rotten or something like that. Now, I'm digressing a little, but I'm going to bring it back. That's just one small thing. Imagine all of the other things that people normally do. All people really have now is either no job and no life, or a job and no life. And either way, to me, that's not living. This is awful. I don't say it couldn't be worse, but on top of that, and you got protests, and I mean, in every direction. In every direction is like the damn sky is falling. You know? I mean, I was having a discussion with somebody. I'm pretty sure there will not ever be another president, ever, that both Republicans and Democrats can unite behind and say, that's my guy. He represents America. Fair election, he won. It's not going to happen. Everyone is so tribalistic now, and they're so into their team that they would rather have... Imagine if it was like... I said this before, but I'll say it again. Imagine if you're going on a cruise ship for like 2 months out to sea, okay, and you're on the boat with everybody else, and because the captain that you wanted to be captain of that ship, it was another guy instead of the guy that you wanted, you would rather have the ship sink into the bottom of the ocean compared to have somebody else just take you safely to the other side. It's amazing. It doesn't matter who the president is, Donald, Barack, whatever. No matter who does what and how great they do, they'll be shitted on by the other side. And that's just politics. And you got all of these social problems, and blue lives matter, black lives matter, all lives matter. Blue is in police. It's another. They're having a lot of like protests now saying blue lives matter, and it's like, I had an interesting no, it wasn't me, it was actually on television. This guy made a comment about something about how he thinks that people shouldn't be allowed to say like black people or white people anymore. And the reason why is because if someone's Hispanic and you say brown people, that sounds racist. Okay, well, I kind of agree with the guy. If you're like, wow, there's a lot of brown people in here, like it sounds like it has a negative connotation to it. But they're not. They're just saying, they're not black, they're not white, they're brown. And he also made the example towards Asian people. He says he was like, what would be wrong with saying we have a lot of black people in the audience, a lot of white people in the audience, a lot of yellow people and brown people? You see what I'm saying? Already, it sort of just has... I mean, why can't people just be people? You know what I mean? I get it. But the problem is, when you keep on trying to diversify everybody by the most superficial thing, which is the color that they are on the outside, that alone, of course you see it's an observing thing. But when you try to say the trend of how they'll vote, or what they'll like, or their music, or blah, 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 or whatever the case might be, you see what I'm saying? It's like there's no right answer. And then you got the pandemic. And then you got jobs. It's like this whole thing of the coronavirus that was like the perfect catalyst to have all this stupid shit all come out at once. feel like freedom of speech is getting thrown to the fucking toilet, right? It's just, man, it's awful. And you know what? I'm not depressed. I'm not. But I am preparing myself for when everything returns to normal by working as hard as possible and writing comedy, since there aren't really any shows now. Things in Texas might get closed down. I know a guy whose business might actually get closed down personally, if they don't abide by certain parameters and whatnot, that would actually make him not have enough customers. So it's getting really tough. You got people trying to make a living. Crime is going up. And if you have any basic skills in math, you will know that the crazy thing about a tsunami, which is what this is, it's a tsunami of issues. It's just getting started. And that's not me being pessimistic. That's just me looking at basic momentum of the direction that things are going on. It's kind of like a stock in the stock market. Before things start to go down, they level out as far as like a stock price goes, and then it starts to decline, and then it levels out. It hits like a high and then a low, and then it starts to go back up, and you know, goes from left to right horizontally. The thing is, even in stocks, there can be a new high, and it can be maintained. So let's just say there was just try to understand what I'm saying. Let's just say on a scale of 0 to 10, the average is 5. Well, this thing is going so high up above 10. Let's just say it's a 20. 10 below 10 is 0. Just follow what I'm saying, okay? 10 below 20 is 10. The medium of that is 15. I think this thing is going to go so high when it starts to normalize. The average of what used to be before the coronavirus compared to the average, the new normal of what will be, this thing has gone so high and above, it's past, I truly believe it's past the point of return for things to ever return the way things are ever again. Police are retiring at a record rate. The only people that aren't getting shitted on really at this point are firefighters. It's awful. You know, I heard somebody say the other day, and it's true, most countries don't have a change in government, don't have a civil war, don't have some sort of a collapse of government based off of another government overthrowing them. It almost always occurs from within. And there's a lot of very, very smart people that work all across the United States that are trying to prevent that from happening, but there's too few of them, and too much numbers, too much math, too much factors that are all in the negatives. So the smart people, I think they realize at a certain point, it isn't a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And being able to rationalize with what the new normal will be and move forward from there. The problem is the new normal, and again, in my opinion, is going to feel so much more like a prison sentence than life, and what people would do and be living and whatnot. They're not going to have anything else to do but either not work, or to work, or do crime, and that's about it. If everything that you're doing is just to help the economy, and you don't get to spend that money yourself, if you don't get time for your passions and to hunt or to fish or fly a kite, ride a bicycle without feeling some sort of entrapment, then in a lot of ways you're not really living life. Is it a life worth living? I hope so. To me it is. But that new norm is just so fucking... I apologize seriously in advance for, seeming like I'm being kind of down. But I'm truthfully not. I just got done doing jiu-jitsu for the day. I'm feeling great. But logically, I'm also explaining the fact that if there were to be a sheet of paper with a lot of numbers on it, and they all had a negative symbol beside it, I'm just explaining to you that there's a lot of negatives on the table, and -5, simple math, but I'll just say this too. -5 plus -5 is -10. With all these negative factors, okay, it's adding up to way more than the positive. And what people have also realized is during this pandemic period, especially the news, it's like a self-perpetuating cycle. No hate, but in particular CNN and a lot of the liberal media companies. I only say Fox not so much because factually Fox is not keeping a ticker tape of statistics around the border. And I've checked CNN and Fox News. But CNN and the other liberal, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying they are. It's no secret. News agencies, 24 hours a day, it's all about Corona. It's about, and the thing is, they're making money off of it. And they found another formula. There's got to be some person, like some infectious virus person that works in CNN, that can continue to self-perpetuate the storm, because the more they report it, the more they can sell an advertisement. Just watch next time you watch the news, notice how many commercials come on. Okay, they're a lot more frequent, and they're a little bit longer than usual because they get paid off advertisement. So if they see some advertisement for something else you can do at your house or something like that, it's like the media is pushing the momentum of this thing, but not just the Corona, but everything else that's bad. Because, like I said before, and I'll say again, if there was a newspaper, old school newspaper, guy selling newspapers, waving it around the street for $0.25, and it says "beautiful day tomorrow," everybody's gonna walk by it. But if it said "epic danger, destruction" in 24 hours, everyone's gonna buy it. And that's exactly what's happening. Everybody is buying it every single day with their time, with their money, with their investments. And mentioning money, I have to get off right now. I got to do my job. I got to work. But my love and prayers go out to everybody. I'm really excited to do comedy one day. And before then, I'm going to continue to get better. I'm going to do comedy wherever I can, in the streets and in the checkout line, wearing a face mask. Because I'm unyielding. And I won't stop. There isn't any stop to it. That's just who I am. So, until next time, guys, have a beautiful day. I'm Benja Well Done. Check me out. God bless. Have a good one. Peace.